everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hey, you guys. Happy Friday. How are y'all doing today? Hey there, Floors. Hey, Christy. Hey, Meow. DKM, Mimi Life, Lisa Welch, Suzanne, Unapologetically Me, TTB. I don't know. I'll say this. This interview is useless. There really isn't anything here. There really isn't anything here, but we're going over everything here. So we're going to go over this and treat it the same way that we've treated everything else. This was about a month before the What Did You Tell Adam video came out to the public. I did a little bit of refreshing my memory on things about that this morning, and that was obtained from a Facebook group. You remember the two women in the big Facebook group that was in the documentary with Brett Norton and all of them, where they were talking about how the two women who did the Facebook group don't even talk to each other anymore, and that Alina Smith lady was over on the Drunk Turkey show, and she did a show with him, and she tried to say that she was, in the courtroom and saying that she saw Bethany there, which we know that's not true at all for anything, because Bethany never goes to anything. She was part of that Facebook group, and the Daily Mail that released it on December, I believe the 18th, is saying the Facebook group is who they got it from. So it was mid-December that the What Did You Tell Adam video came out for us to know about it. Now, how long before that the cops knew about it, I don't know. But this interview would have taken place a month before that video became public, before we started asking questions about what was said to Adam. Now, the majority of the reason why everyone believes this is the Adam that would have had something said to him is because this is Jack Decor's roommate, and he was also at the club that night. And it's not it's apparent from seeing, as blurry as it is, the videos that have come out from the Corner Club, there are different times where Maddie is not with Kaylee, Kaylee's not with Maddie, and then they come back together. So there was times for them to mingle with other people, talk to other people, but I just everything that's coming out is making everything a lot more confusing, because we're looking for things that we've been told had importance, that we were told might actually mean something, that people have refused to give answers to. And right when we think we might actually get an answer, there's nothing there. So I don't know if there's going to be able to be another interview of him later on. It was already kind of difficult to tell whose interview reports from ISP were whose. Now that we've heard some more things, it's easier to put them together. And this one's actually, I think it's supplemental 5 on the ISP list, based off what he says. But he was there. He was working there. He lived with Jack Decor. He knew about their relationship, and he had known Kaylee for a long time. He says this in the interview, and I didn't know this, that he had known her since she was a freshman in high school. Is that what he says? Don't quote me on that. I listened to bits and pieces of it after listening to the whole thing, so I was listening for something specific. But he does say something about knowing Kaylee since she was a freshman. I just don't know if that was college freshman or high school freshman, because he's really close with Jack Decor. So when it comes to this being the Adam, that's the reason, because of his connections and the way that the tones are, and what we can hear when it comes to that video. But nothing about anything is said, and he doesn't say that she said anything or anyone said anything to him at the Corner Club. So again, I don't know if by the 18th they would have even had this from doing a canvas in order to ask him the question, because they don't ask him the question. He doesn't come out and say anything directly, but they don't ask him either. So I don't think they even knew about it at this point. I don't think they knew about it at this point. Now, some people are saying, is it possible another Adam? Yeah, possible. I don't know any other Adams personally that have been discussed. And if you look at the witness list, I have them pulled up in front of me. They're just not on the screen. Adam Lauda is the only Adam that's on both of their lists, and he's on the defense list. I went through the state's list, and I could have missed it, but I went and looked at all the first names, And I don't see an Adam. I don't see an Adam on the states list. So I don't know what other Adam it could be, but maybe whatever was said to him, he didn't say for a reason, or he thought it was unimportant. I mean, we don't know. Now, I think the Goncalveses have tried to say before that they might actually know what was said, but they always try to link everything back to Kaylee and Jack getting back together. And her behaviors that we kind of like saw, like they didn't really interact at all at Corner Club at all. They basically like were in passing one time and that was it. They were doing their own separate thing. So I don't know why it always ends up coming back to that when it comes to the Goncalveses and the story that they want to give to people. But we already know how they've twisted whatever they claim to have heard from Hunter Johnson, and it turned into a whole bunch of non-true things when it comes to Xana's door being closed and him being called over because he had to strong arm the door open. All of that came from the Goncalveses because they twisted whatever was said to them, because none of that was ever said, and they have not taken accountability. And every time he's been asked about it, he's skirted all the way around it and won't just be straightforward with it about any of it. So I don't know. You can't take anything they say about what they might have heard from anybody seriously, because you don't know if they're twisting it on purpose or if they really misheard it or if they're making it up. You don't know anymore. And that's not me just saying that because of my issues with them. That's a fact. You don't know anymore because that's all they've done with everything. It's difficult whenever you want to try to like figure out what's happening so that the families get answers, but then you have a family that's pushing back on everything that everyone's trying to ask about everything and being dishonest. It's difficult to not talk about it a lot because their behaviors are very strange. Now, someone did send me a screenshot of their page, something about how they weren't sure if they were going to go live yet. They probably won't. If they do, it'll be very scripted. You can bet that. I also saw something about they're trying to have people pay a subscription fee for their page now. Has that been seen by other people? Because that's crazy. That's super crazy. Now, I will say about the Kerrville thing today, about what True Crime Design put up. I woke up this morning and I was flooded with, holy shit, have you seen this? I know you don't click links, but holy shit, you need to see this. People in the comments. By the time I got to it, the video only had like 60 something likes. It was barely out there. But people were flooding me with it because this person that the Goncalves family, and I say family because it's both Christy and Steve, and I'm not going to say allegedly because I did my own deep dive. I didn't go and listen to wherever the information came from. I just saw what she put and then started looking up names and looking up shit myself. What I've seen is that the company that apparently was started by Christy being the president and Steve being the director, and this Marsha person, oh, what's her title? Incorporator or some shit like that is how it's labeled. I think that's how it's put. She's from Kerrville, apparently, according to her social media. If you've been here for a long time, you know that's where I was born. Holy shit. And you also know that when it came to Kylie Rodney's case, a few weeks after we started the channel based off of Kylie Rodney's case, the Carfax for her Honda came out, and it turned out that it actually went through my uncle's shop in Kerrville a few years before it was Kylie's. So considering what just happened at the massage place that I showed you guys the other day, and now this coming out, like it's really creeping. It's creepy. I told my daughter about it. I told my buddy about it, and both of them were like, "Yeah, that's really creepy." Yeah, it is creepy, but I don't know if it just means, you know, keep on going or what's going on. But it's weird. It's really, really strange. And I don't know what it means, but I'm just going to take it as it's a sign that I'm looking in the right direction, sort of. I don't know, because I'm looking in all directions, but I'm keeping the questions with the Goncalveses because something is weird with them. Their dishonesty is odd. And look, I'll tell you this. What I found digging into this person, this person from Kerrville that the Goncalveses created this weird cloud company with back in like 2014. She's connected to a lot of businesses in states across the country. And the majority of them all share the exact same address. And if you look up the address, it's a UPS store. Both addresses that are associated with hundreds of companies this woman and another person's name is connected to. Several across the country: Arizona, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Florida, Minnesota, all over the place. Two different locations specifically are being used in Houston, and they are UPS stores. And the way that they have the addresses listed is they say like number and then the PO box. And they all are using the exact same PO box, but they're not putting it as like a PO box. They're putting number like it's a suite, but it's not. It's a UPS store. Both of them. You can look at it on Google Maps and you can look at it at the damn store. It's like a 3 storefront area, both of them, and it's a UPS store. And the crazy part too, there is an article with this woman's name on it. And it is connected to the Republican voting system situation in Arizona, and where this lady's name is in connection to one of the companies involved in that situation. And I found it really interesting that this morning when I was looking up this stuff on Bing, I just typed in her first and last name from Houston, Texas into Microsoft Bing. And that article about the voter situation in Arizona showing her name being associated with this certain company associated with that story was the #1 search this morning. I was telling my buddy all about it. I sent him a picture of it because the article has a storefront with a UPS store, just like everything else this woman does. And now, if you look up the exact same thing, I just tried it again. If you look it up, the exact same thing, the exact same wording on the exact same search engine, it's not the first result anymore. It doesn't even show up. So that's all really weird. But they're transportation businesses, logistic businesses, all these different LLCs. And the ones that I was able to see earlier today, I looked up maybe 7 to 9 of them. All of them were voluntarily dissolved for one reason or another several years ago. And again, there's one guy, it's a guy who is connected to all these exact same addresses and all these exact same companies that she's also associated with, but he's not even in Texas where she claims to be. He's in Florida. Again, this was just from like the first page of search results of very free and public information. I didn't have to do much digging to see all the like weird stuff. And again, it's one thing if you're going to be a company that's like dealing with other companies and helping people like get started and stuff, but all of your companies use the same one PO box. This isn't a suite. This is a UPS store at every single one of these addresses, and it's a PO box number, not a business building like suite being rented. No, it's a single PO box. But none of them listed as a PO box. I saw the entire ledger of these businesses, and all of them have it listed as like number, or even some of them lie and say suite, and it's not a suite. It's a single level 3 building thing. It's a UPS store. It sounds fishy as shit. Yeah. It sounds fishy as shit. So I have to be like really careful about like what I say and what I like put out there about what I look for, but I'm going to like dig into this a little bit more and put something together just like in a small video, because this is really weird. It is really weird. I would have never thought in a million years there'd be a Kerrville connection between me and the freaking Goncalveses. That's really freaking creepy. But I did send the picture of this woman to a few people there and from there, and nobody recognizes her or the name, which is interesting too. So I don't know, but a lot of people also pointed out that the woman, well, see, she's associated with a lot of different places, because I saw Houston, Texas. I also saw Austin, Texas from her social media. Austin is where Kaylee was supposed to be moving for the business that she was going to be working for or was working for. It was Austin. I don't know why Adam in this interview says Dallas, unless Dallas was maybe an option for her before, but it was Austin. And that's probably the worst city besides San Antonio you could start in Texas, because it's something. I'll say that. It's something. But yeah, it's been an interesting morning. I know. Oh, yes. Like I have a PO box that I use for certain things for the YouTube channel, and mine very much says PMB like in the address to say that it's a PO box. Literally none of these say PO box. Like I'll show y'all in the video. There's other addresses and other people's names like in these lists too that I don't know. I've never seen them before, and I don't want to just like put a bunch of people's information out there. So I'm gonna have to like redact certain things, but I'm gonna show all of the businesses. I mean, literally, you can just it's oh my god, it's so like right there on the first page of stuff. It's so crazy, but like none of the businesses say that it's a PO box. They're using it like it's a physical address. So that's what's crazy to me, because I was told I had to make sure that the distinction was written in there for the one that I have for the company that I use. So they've got to be using it for something completely different. And my stuff had to be notarized. There was like a certain form I had to sit in, one that's kind of very similar to like passport forms, like really in-depth like ID verification stuff, because they try to make sure that you're not pulling some bullshit. But there's companies that are created that half-ass do things correctly because they can't just do fraudulent shit 24/7. That's how they're going to get caught up faster. They have to take on legitimate business to make themselves look legitimate. So I'm not going to say that every single thing that this person touched is shady, but the majority of everything that's being touched here sure does look shady, especially when everything that I did look up so far, the majority of these businesses have been dissolved for a super long time. And her and this person, this male that's connected to most of these businesses, I counted like at least over 140 different businesses that these two people's names have been connected to. And the oldest one that I found so far is like 24 years old. The woman in question is 51. So this stuff could have been going on for like a while. Whatever's going on. But I also know that it says something about how this company that the Goncalves has had has like an inactive status. So if it's not like something current, it's something that they just like try to do. People try to start businesses all the time. I just know that this woman is very, very shady. And there's been a lot of shady stuff about the Goncalveses. They're very, very dishonest. I mean, who comes out and like sports a freaking crypto hat as you're like doing an interview about your deceased child? To me, that's like you trying to promote something that you feel is going to make you money at the end of the day. That shit never really sat right with me. Especially since like hex also has like a whole nother meaning. Also, like it's just been odd, the whole thing. The whole thing is just odd. So I'm going to look more into this situation. I'm going to get more details about like this Cloud 7 VIP or whatever the name was for this business that they had and get a little bit more details. But I found like the actual certificate for when the business was created. Like I have like the printout of the license. It was free information right there on the internet just to type in the name of it. It was like from the state right there. So it is kind of also strange to me. Again, this is like coming out now, but apparently Lucy Morningstar, or how you guys might have known her before when she put this information out, Heather Fitzgerald, had this information like a long time ago. I'd never seen this before. But she was in the comments saying, oh my God, I thought people knew about this. I didn't. I didn't. This is blowing my mind. This is blowing my mind right now. But anyway, we do have one new document. Let me show you guys that real quick. Before we get started, we have, oh, hold on. Let me make sure it's the right one. No, that's not the right one. Hold on. They have a response of something from the state, but it's literally just the state like sealing something that they sent in when it comes to the third documents that are supposed to release, you know, the ones that they just completely screwed up, you know. This is all this is. State supplemental response to court's third order regarding sealed documents. They just want whatever the state sent in sealed as of yesterday. So I don't know when they're ever going to put those documents back out that they put out there incorrectly. But again, it's real crazy. Two different entities did releases and they both effed up royally. So people have their opinions about that. I have my opinions about that. I just don't really know what to make of it. I'm so tired of it. It's absolutely wackadoodle. Okay. Again, this is a very short interview. We're not going to be here for very long. The one from Eric Gower, I'm going to end up redoing what I did to it because I just did what I normally do, audio up, downloadable, blah, blah, blah. What I'm going to do, because there's so much muted information in his interview. I don't know if y'all have gone over to Connor's channel and listened to the whole thing, like with no commentary yet, but there's several like minutes at a time where it's just completely silent, and I'd be damned. So I'm going to go in and slice it and speed it up and just put like how much time is actually in there where it's silent so that we don't just sit there and listen to nothing for minutes on end, because there's several spots like that. And I don't know why. I don't know why, but it's sort of annoying. So I'm going to fix that before we go live tonight. Plus, it's also really long. It's like an hour and 40, I think. And I didn't want to like have something so heavy and long during the day. So that's definitely something that we're going to do tonight. And look, it went out today. My new headset finally came in. Actually, early. It wasn't supposed to be here until the 3rd. And today this went out. Isn't that freaking crazy? Okay. My life is full of just insanity. Let me make this a little bit bigger. But again, he doesn't say much of anything. This is just going to be where I've gone in and taken this again and just heightened it. And see how it says Kristen Cameron and Alina Smith? That's the ladies from the Facebook group. Alina Smith, however you say her name. She's the one, again, that went over to Drunk Turkey Show and talked to him about being in courtroom for certain things. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and play this so that you can hear again the audio. And remember, this came public like December 17th, December 18th-ish. And this interview that we're about to listen to was a month prior on, I believe it's November 18th. See this, so this article that came out in the Daily Mail that had the clip came out on the 18th. So I'm pretty sure that they probably posted to the Facebook group a day or a couple of days before that happened. Now, again, this is supplement number 5, ends up being actually Adam Lauda's from the Idaho State Police drop. I do believe those are on the Google Drive, but for sure there's a link for the official source in my description box. So, okay, this is going to get to the interview now.
This is Detective Chris Pohanka and Sergeant Dave Cortez. Date is November 18th, about 11:55 in the morning. And we are with, what's your last name? Okay. And we will start the recording as well as the interview.
All right. So basically, your name came up because I guess you're friends with, yeah, right? You know pretty well.
Yeah, he's my roommate.
He's your roommate? Okay. How well did you know the victims of the homicide?
I've known Kaylee since freshman year. She's in the same pledge class as me. So
okay, so freshman year college. Okay.
So just like hanging out with her periodically throughout the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Been to her house in Coeur d'Alene one time, and then I knew Xana. Not as well as Kaylee, but pretty well over the last 2 years. She was up there over the summer, and I stayed in Moscow over the summer, so we hung out a couple times. But I knew Maddie just because we were in the same pledge class. I didn't like hang out with her a whole lot, but yeah.
Okay. And then from what we understand, Kaylee and were dating before?
Yeah, so they've been dating since high school, and kind of on and off. I think they broke up like twice during that time frame. I'm pretty sure they broke up because she accepted a job in Dallas, so they were just kind of.
And see, I don't know where the Dallas thing came from. I don't know if it was ever a different location. I don't know if there was multiple locations that she had the option of choosing. But we know that we were told it was supposed to be Austin, and there was also like a roommate board that she was on. I don't think it might have been on Facebook. I'm like seeing it in my mind where she was posting about needing a roommate, and I believe she'd actually ended up meeting a guy, not like for any sort of relationship or anything, but like a platonic male roommate that she was supposed to actually move in with, I think. That's how I remember hearing it.
Settling things before she left after semester.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How long ago did they break up?
I think 2 months ago.
Once. All right.
Yeah. I
Really
don't know
fresh.
for sure, but that's kind of the estimate of what
Okay.
I have. Yeah.
All right.
Almost like as soon as she moved into King Road then, which is also something I find interesting. I was going back through like all of the Idaho State Police reports, and in one of the ones when it comes to who was paying like what bill where, Dylan says something about how they wouldn't be responsible for the Wi-Fi, like her and Bethany wouldn't be responsible for the Wi-Fi bill because they just moved there in August. But Kaylee is responsible for the Wi-Fi bill, or was responsible for the Wi-Fi bill, and she moved in at about the same time. Like she just barely moved into that house at the end of summer. Like I can't remember if it was the very end of July or if it was like the beginning of August, but she just moved into that house too. I just find that interesting, the way that she put that. I don't know.
And then, so you knew Kaylee pretty well, and Maddie, it sounds like. Do you know if there was anybody that, you know, was angry with Kaylee, or did you ever talk to her about, you know, her having possibly a stalker or anything like that? You know, was there anybody that she had ever mentioned that, you know, kind of gave her bad vibes, or, you know, that might want to hurt her?
Nothing that I've heard at all from her. I know some girls said that there might. Have you guys heard of some walking out of Winco, someone following her a couple months ago?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't.
Notice they just lied to him. I guess they have to act like they don't know certain things. Now, I'll say this again when it comes to the stuff that's being repeated over and over and over and over. It seems like when it comes to Winco, Kaylee and Xana, I want to say Dylan. Don't quote me on the Dylan part, but for sure Xana and Kaylee were in that car. And those were two guys that were like scoping out the place for chicks, basically, just being really freaking like not good at it, basically, is how the reports come out when it comes to this Winco situation. Now, when it comes to the guy or Kaylee seeing someone when she's out taking Murphy out, okay, what I've come to realize, and I need to put this all in a video eventually, and it'll be like really short and to the point because it just shows like the origin point. The origin points of things is what I'm really trying to look for. When it came to Kaylee being outside and seeing like a shadow when she's taken Murphy out, that is said by Bethany and Bethany only, and Bethany is the only person that Kaylee said that to. And that becomes really apparent because Bethany says Kaylee called her specifically. Out of all the people she could have called, she called her specifically, and that she was at some sort of sorority thing. When Dylan is saying the story to Mallory, she says how she was just talking with, and of course it's redacted, but she said blah, 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 whatever. Meaning Bethany, because that's probably the redacted name, told the story of Kaylee calling her about the person being, or the shadow outside, and now Dylan is now reiterating the story. Well, that's how the rest of this all happened. Bethany saying, Kaylee called me this one time. Now, the only thing that I really would love to focus on is a report that came out in the ISP records, and I saw it again yesterday, where one of Kaylee's friends said that back in September something, it was before the crime took place, but this friend in this report remembers them all sitting around and Kaylee talking about getting like weird messages from someone and something weird coming to her like in the mail, like actual stalkery shit. And that's in a report, and I don't know who the person is that's like said this stuff. And I want to focus on that one directly here soon and see if there's any more information we can get from that, because the data is very specific, and she's talking about messages on social media and also physical mail. And remember, there was this one time where the Goncalveses came out and said something about having to sign something for law enforcement to be able to get Kaylee's mail. And then we saw a warrant for, what was it, like the USPS trucks for their like camera footage from like being in the area and like delivering mail. And we couldn't figure out what the hell they were trying to say, because what are they saying now? That Kohberger bought the knife sheath months before he even moved. Okay, well then what are you doing all this weird maily shit for? So I'd like to go back to that one report from the ISP records, because I think that's probably like the most real when it comes to there being possibly an issue But the Goncalves is denying it, and if it's real and it was ongoing and Kaylee was telling her friends and there was multiple things, including online messages and physical mail, you would think that you would tell your family that kind of thing, because that's pretty serious. That's pretty serious. But the Goncalves deny it, and the police have denied it in way of at least what they're saying happened here. But that one report really just like re-caught my attention yesterday. Especially since it just feels like there's so much rage when it comes to what happened to Kaylee. Specifically. Oh, and speaking of, did y'all see Steve over on Jesse Weber? This is something else we're going to talk about in a separate video. Say basically that something with the timing advance records is telling them that Maddie and someone else was the target. Didn't he do an entire episode driving around in Kaylee's Range Rover saying how Kohberger killed them because he was jealous of Kaylee and Maddie's life? And now he's trying to say that it was Maddie and someone else. Are you pointing at Xana? Because that's the only girl in that house. I just can't believe how much this dude like flip-flops. And these people on these damn mainstream media stations don't ever... I'm sorry, Steve. What was that? Haven't you been saying this entire time it had to have been Kaylee because he was jealous of her? Hasn't that been y'all's consensus this entire time, that he was stalking your daughter and her best friend online and watching everything that they were doing and was jealous of their life? Oh, and now suddenly, what? That dude is wild. I cannot believe how much he goes back and forth. We're gonna talk about that. we're gonna watch that whole thing and talk about that.
I don't know anything about this. I just heard this from some of her friends that she might have had someone following her out of Winco, like directly behind her into her car. And then I don't know if they heard anything else about that, but I could give you a number of someone who knows more about that.
What friends?
Yeah, her sorority sisters.
Oh, the sisters?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone in specific?
I heard that from, I think she gave some statements the day of.
Do you have her phone number?
I think I do.
All right.
She's down in California now.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see if I can pull it up.
So did this person that followed her out of Winco, was he a student up there, or?
I honestly don't know really any details about it. They just kind of told me that story. If you want to write that down, that's your phone number. Yeah, but that seems to be something kind of serious. I don't know, something you need to know about at least.
I can't stand how those freaking are y'all hearing how like their tone is with him? Like, I know that he's like a whole adult, right? But they probably are looking down at him like he's a child because they're older than him. But the tone that they're using when he's like, I don't know if y'all know that. No, we don't. Like, you sound dumb. I don't like their tone. I really don't.
We'll talk about that and get the story from her. Maybe she's got some more details, about it. When was the last time that you saw Kaylee?
So I work at the So it was that night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I saw her and Maddie leave and was leaving with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was the last time I saw them.
Okay. So you saw them all night, basically. They were hanging out and having a little good time, and then they took off, and that's the last time you saw them?
Yeah, they said they're going to John's Alley. They're trying to get some of my friends to go over there with them, but they didn't end up going. And then.
Now, isn't that also crazy that we didn't know that there was another destination in mind until like the last 2 months? This whole time they've been telling us that Jack Showalter was literally escorting, or at least that's what they've been trying to make us believe, that he was escorting them to the grub truck so that they weren't walking alone before they ended up getting a ride. And that wasn't the truth. Now, the truth isn't bad. They were going to go to another bar and keep doing what they were doing for their night. There was no reason to spin this a certain way that wasn't true. Jack Showalter thought he was going to John's Alley with Kaylee and Maddie. He wasn't aware they were getting food. That was like a last minute thing. So it's just crazy to me again that they've they've let us believe the whole time that their whole intention for leaving leaving the corner club was to go to the grub truck, and that Jack Showalter was physically chaperoning them. And that's not the case at all. It's just so odd. Like, why do that?
They just went over there.
All right. Had they been anywhere before they showed up to the corner club, partying or?
Oh, good question. Because she was definitely out of there, wasn't she? And they had no problem kicking out Cole for being too out of there.
Because I know there was a football game going on that weekend, and there was like Wazoo had a football game too. So it sounds like the town was, hopping.
Yeah.
So
what? Did he say hopping or popping? This sounds so weird coming from what you know is that older dude.
There was a football game going on that weekend, and there was like Wazoo had a football game too. So it sounds like the town was, hopping.
Hopping.
Yeah. So do you know if they were partying somewhere beforehand or?
I didn't hear of anything specifically about them. I was working over it, and then I came to work after that, so I wasn't really talking to any friends or anything.
Okay. Gotcha.
What do you do?
I work for the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it was bad.
And then did you know, what was it, Xana? Is that how you say her name?
Mm-hmm.
Or Xana?
Yeah.
Did you know Xana
Yes, please show me. I like seeing you guys wearing my stuff. I think it's too cool.
and Ethan very well?
I knew Xana just from like going to parties and stuff, and just.
He did. He was awake. See, that's I need to finish up the Ethan and Xana deep dive video for what the blood spatter expert is claiming. What she's basically saying in her report is that he would have been sitting up and on his right elbow at some point, like as he was being attacked in his face, like he was actively up because of the way that the blood is pulled and where the voids are, that he would have been up and like sitting up on his right elbow. There's just no way, especially now that we've seen sort of the toxicology results. Again, the autopsy stuff that we're getting from the report that we're doing these videos and getting this information from is not the true autopsy report. It's the spatter experts like summarization of what she's seen from analyzing it and like comparing the wounds to what she's seeing in the spatter itself. So we need to remember it's not the full on toxicology or autopsy, but they both had, stuff in their system. Now, I haven't done the math myself to see just how insane it was, but just knowing that they were that stuff because it was on the desk as a powder next to a bill and they were drinking, it's going to have an effect, and it's not going to really be where it's just going to make you go to sleep. That's for sure. So no, there's just no way. He was awake. He was more than awake.
Talking to her there, but I didn't really know her like on a personal basis. Really, we hung out a couple of times over the summer. I went over there and barbecued and stuff because we stayed up over the summer. But other than that, nothing. I didn't really know her that personally, and I knew Ethan just based off of like fraternity stuff. Like I tried to recruit him.
Oh, okay.
When we were, that'd be my junior year, his freshman year.
All right. Which frat was he in?
Sigma Chi.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Do you know, had you heard anything? I'm sure you would have mentioned it, but I got to ask, have you heard anything of anybody wanting to target them or would have been mad at them or like a jealous person that might have wanted to harm?
Any one of them.
Yeah, anything helps at this point.
We've been trying to like figure that out since we heard the news. Like we really have no idea. They're all really nice people, so just nothing comes to mind.
Okay. And you never heard them mention like somebody, poking around their place or, somebody watching their house or anything suspicious like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like that. Okay. But what's his personality like? I mean, where I'm going is, do you think that he could have, gotten jealous because he was at the corner club that night and maybe saw her and,
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
Does he strike you as somebody that might, want to harm her?
No, he loved her. He thought he was going to marry her. Like they had a great relationship, even when they were not together. Like he's one of like the calmest, like kindest people.
Okay.
That's just what I know of him. I mean, I've known him for the last 4 years. I've lived with him this last semester. So
Does he have? Is he like an outdoorsy guy at all, or?
He's into sports. He's a sports guy, not super outdoorsy, but
Does he have any hunting equipment or camping gear up there?
I don't think so.
A knife? You ever seen him with a knife?
No.
Big knife? No, nothing like that. Okay. Is there anybody else that you think that we should talk to besides
The short
Ava?
sisters. Yeah.
I don't know. I gave the names and numbers of all my roommates to Agent Riggs.
Okay.
I don't think there's. I've talked to
Agent Riggs. So he's doing this interview after he's already spoken with the FBI. Is what it sounds like.
everyone. No one really has any other information than kind of what I've said. So no name comes to mind right now.
Okay.
Well, is it okay if we have any other follow-up call you?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't know if from this point on, if there's a need for us to come back. So, I mean, anything else could be over the phone.
Yeah.
If that's okay.
Yeah, they were
sounds
like
good. Should I
at his
just save
house
that number?
when they did this.
That's going to be for the sergeant.
Yeah. Yeah, you
That'll
can
be
hold
it,
on
so
to
you
it.
can
Yeah.
hold on to that.
Anything that you hear or whatever, feel free to call me and pass that along. Are you planning on staying home then for just Thanksgiving break? You going back up?
Yeah, I'll probably end up going back up just to finish out the semester after Thanksgiving break, but I'll be here until then.
Okay. Perfect. Never made any comments to you, or you overheard him say anything suspicious,
Just anything.
like
Yeah, that's a good question.
or anything like that.
No, I've honestly never heard him say anything bad about her.
Okay.
So yeah, I know he obviously has to be a suspect, like an ex-boyfriend type shit, but honestly, there's nothing that I could ever see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much what we had. Pretty simple. We're just out, shaking the bushes, basically, seeing if there's anything that anybody heard or about the girls. Especially somebody that might have been trying to stalk her, or showed a lot of interest in her, or maybe she had, her or some of the other girls might have, scorned someone and they got pissed off. So that's kind of the direction that we're looking at right now.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we don't know at this point. We don't know if it was just a random act or if somebody targeted them. So anything at all that you think, even if you don't think it could be helpful, just feel free to shoot me a text.
The spatter report that I just mentioned is where that's mentioned. That because of the way that the void was in his right armpit area, that it was obvious that he was sitting up, propped up on his right elbow. It's not sitting up. It's propped up on the bed, his elbow. Lay down on your side and lift yourself up, your upper body up with just your right arm. You'll see what I mean. That's how the blood spatter expert has it in the report.
Text or call me, hey, I heard this, or you might want to talk to this person or whatever.
Any sort of little detail that just pops in all of a sudden, just don't hesitate.
Okay. Since you kind of, we're running in the same circle, it sounds like with them and some of the friends, so.
Yeah, we'll do it for sure.
All
I'll
right.
let you guys know.
Okay, good deal.
All right. Well, it is 12:05. We're going to stop the recording.
Yeah, and see, that's it. So considering the fact that there's no, obviously the feds talked to this dude beforehand. Did they even relay to them that they knew about that video? Because to me, the feds would have known. And maybe I'm just putting too much on them, but I know they're shady as shit. But I feel like the feds would have known about this already, this video already. I could be wrong. But there's going to have to be something else. There's going to have to be another interview from someone. Where they ask this question. Because again, there's no other Adam on the witness list. It's just him. So he would have to be the one, and it's the defense that's calling him and not the state that was going to call him. So yeah. I don't know if there's another one. I'm still going through the reports, but it's probably the feds. And that's the problem, is that like we're never going to see that stuff. Anything with the FBI, like we're never going to see it. We're just never going to see it. Oh, thank you for being here, Dawn. Oh, thank you for the $10 super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you for the $4.99, Crystal. Hey, Kristen. How you doing? Thank you for the $9.99. A year, Avril. I used to listen to her so much. In a year. That's a long time to be here. And you too, MDP. Thank you for being here for so long. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully there's something else where somebody answers that question. Because I don't know. There's been so many discrepancies about what could it be, because we don't know what's really true or not. We've got now that the interviews are coming out, we have Dylan and Bethany now saying that there is a possibility Kaylee wasn't even going to leave. But that's only coming from them two. We haven't heard that from her family, from any of the other friends. Could that have been what was said to Adam, that she had changed her mind about leaving? Maybe Jack was upset because they hadn't gotten back together and he hadn't been told and he's finding out that way. I don't know. There's so much back and forth. But again, Dylan and Bethany are the only ones that have told us that. I've been listening for it in like other interviews, and no one else has said anything at all. No one else said anything at all. So I don't know. She definitely was not moved out of that house. She wasn't even technically at her parents' house. And she was only gone for that whole week because they're claiming something with like the snow and the way that her car tires were that she had before the Range Rover. She wasn't comfortable driving it. So she kind of just got like stuck. She wasn't supposed to be gone. She wasn't moved out. None of those things were true. Literally at all. There's just so much. And like going in yesterday, the community post that I put in yesterday, I'm still trying to figure out who is who when it comes to who left with the girls to go to Corner Club and who was actually with Dylan. Now I've had some people send me some information. Connor sent me some information. So I'm going to like go through it. But I was just kind of like, hold on. I really thought this was both the same person, but then going through the information again yesterday, looking for something completely different. And having to stop on there, I'm like, oh, this doesn't sound correct. Something's wrong here. And again, the majority of the comments, like there's very few people that have the same answers. So this is obviously something that's been a conundrum for a lot of people. So it's something that we're going to try to at least nail down as close as possible. I just have to go look through everything. It is. It's very confusing. It's very confusing, and it's not just like one aspect. It's every aspect of this case. It's stuff about the victims, stuff about the suspect, stuff about people that were suspects, stuff about people that were persons of interest, the victims' families, the police department, the house itself, the crime itself, the timeline itself, the pieces of the case itself, everything. It's not an exaggeration. The shit's there in black and white. I've never seen something that was such a disgusting mess before. It's like literally like a web. Legitimately. All I see when I think about this case is just like all these things like just intersecting with each other and being tangled up and creating knots of like where things stop, because you know that like there's a problem, so you can't really go any further down that road until you solve that, because anything that you do further is all going to be based off of the problem and not the truth. So you got to stop right there. So then you stop for a while and you start going down another road, and then, oh shit, same thing happens there. Now we got to stop there. And it's just like the Goncalves is trying to say, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to tell our truth. We're going to come out and do it on our own. It's not going to be the truth. You're not going to have lied to the world to get all this money from all these people and then come out right before this lawsuit that's worth millions of dollars to you suddenly starts and start being honest. I'm sorry. Who do you think we are? Not stupid. No. This whole thing is insane. It will literally drive you insane the more that you think about it. And that's just thinking about the facts, not even the possibilities. Yes, it's a cluster F. Biggest cluster F ever. That's for sure. Let's see if there's anything else I needed to like say before we jump off for a little while. Because I am going to be live tonight to do the Eric Gower one. Oh, thank you for the 2 beautiful dissonants. I appreciate that. Hey, Melinda, hey, girlie, are you enjoying your new Grounded update? No, because I haven't played it in a while. Okay, so I played Grounded on my little son's Xbox and something happened and it like reset itself. And so like I ended up having to just create him like a brand new account because it was so old. We didn't know where the information went to. So I lost like all of my progress on Grounded 2. So I hadn't played it like a super long time. But then my son has been telling me for the past week, and he's been showing me stuff on YouTube, how there's like this Xbox premium thing that's happening now to be able to like get stuff extra for Grounded 2. And there's like a garden snake in there now. He's been showing me like all kinds of stuff. So it's been tempting to like restart it, but I'll literally have to like restart it. And if I restart it, then I think I'm going to play it on my computer and I might stream it. Like I might just be like one of those people. Because Don's been telling me to play Grounded on YouTube. So I might do that because he wants me to. And if I'm going to start over, I might as well. What I do this all on is a gaming system. It's a, whatever the frick it's called. It's a big gaming computer. So I might do that. And if y'all have no idea what I'm talking about, Grounded is a video game on Xbox that it's basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Bug's Life. Is it Bug's Life? Ants, whatever. It's you're little and you're running around. You were shrunken by a scientist, and you've got to learn how to survive with the bugs and the ants and the ladybugs and the big spiders and all the things. And you have to create clothes out of acorns and build houses and stuff and defeat spiders and swim and get algae to make things and all the things. It's fun. We all play. We've been playing it since I think I was pregnant with Dawn, and he's almost 8. We started playing that game when it was still in beta before it was ever like a real game. And then they released the second one with a whole different yard. And I never even got to really finish like the first one. I never got to the thingy and got big again. So I just started number 2. I don't know. I might take like one day a week to just like decompress and just like video game out for like a couple of hours. I don't know. I probably should. Maybe I could think better, maybe unscramble some things. Maybe. I don't know. Thank you for the 5 headers, betters. I really do think that question has something to do with the crime. What does she tell Adam? Just my opinion. I mean, it very well could because it's such a mystery. And it's very just like, it has just this tone. It just gives off this feeling, this tone. Once you consider what happens later and like all of the rumors and all of the secrecy. So I don't know. But again, it could be something innocent too that has nothing to do with anything that they just don't want to mention because they've not mentioned innocent things this whole time, and doing that and being secretive and being really shady about stuff that you don't need to be also causes a lot of really stupid problems. So I don't know. It could be something severe or it could be something nothing. It could go either way. They play us. They play us everywhere. They play us every day to our faces. It's such a good game. They have a deal right now. Slade just came in here trying to convince me last night. He's like, okay, Mom, hear me out. Because there's like a sale. Like if you buy the bundle, if you buy the first game and the second game together, there's like a big, I think he says like $44 for both games right now. Don't quote me on that, but he came in here last night trying to justify him about to go spend $50, with taxes and stuff on these games. And I'm just like, but you've played them for free with your Xbox Pass before, and now you want to buy them simply because you can't play for free right now. You're going to be able to play for free with them back on Xbox Pass soon. Like, why do you want to spend the money? But it's his money. He's going to do whatever he wants to do with it. But he was hella trying to convince me that it was going to be worth the money. So I don't know. We'll see what he does. He came in. He does this thing when he wants to talk to me about something. My door's usually open. He comes in and he just like sumo stomps with like his hands on his hips, like stands up there like Superman and just stares at me. And he's like, okay, hear me out. Okay, I'll hear you out. What are you gonna tell me? Whatever, do what you gotta do. But yeah, he's been showing me and stuff on it. Pretty much like every night before bed, he'll come in here and he'll put on YouTube, and we're watching like all the updates on Grounded. We watched one last night where a guy went through and defeated the whole game, and the only weapon he was allowed to use was a pebblet. He could use tools to like build stuff and like do his armor and stuff like that. But anytime he fought a boss or like a regular bug, it was with a pebblet. Then we watched another one the other day where a guy went through the whole game with no weapons and just used his fist, like even on the big bosses. And I'm like, bro, it worked. Crazy stuff. Yeah, we watched a lot of stuff. It's just called Grounded. Here, look, I will pull up a little video about it on YouTube just so that you guys can see, like, because if y'all have been here for a while, y'all have heard me talk about this game. That's why she mentioned it, because y'all just know. So let me show y'all what I'm talking about. If y'all watched, oh, Connor just put up another interview. Jordan Quesnall and CW interview, Friends of Kaylee. It's a phone interview. I know some of y'all know Connor is. I'll put a link. Well, I'll put a link for this right now in the chat, so y'all can go watch this interview real quick. But let me also show y'all this video game real quick. This is the second one. I want to. Oh, is that from Obsidian? Okay, here's a trailer update from Obsidian that should show you sort of what the game is about without like you having to watch some streamer. Okay, so let's see.
Previously on Grounded 2, Brook Hollow Park welcomed 4 fresh faces, but teens toughed up for some nasty neighbors and tamed the untamable. Now new threats rise from beneath the roots. This episode, The Toxic Tangle.
This is an update. You're little and you run around the yard
my
building all
finest
kinds of stuff. That's who I always like. We got the same haircut.
Vacation's over. Back to work.
With me.
This is like a really cheesy trailer. So you cook aphids on a roaster. You can get a ladybug as a pet to help you run around. You go down in anthills and like dig up pieces of mint that you can make weapons with, and spicy candies, like cinnamon spicy candies that you can make weapons and stuff with. It's fun. I'm just saying, it's real fun. I saw someone saying something about the CI video. That video is on Connor's channel. I believe it's isn't it Snyder something or whatever. It's hard to tell what's being said. It's more like the movements and the way the conversation's tone is around what's being said that I think is what's given everyone the impression that something about one of them being a CI is what people think that it says. It does sound like that's very possibly what's being said. It's coming from Roger Lanier in Snyder's, I think he's the one who's saying it, but it's like Snyder's body cam. It's on Connor's channel. I was looking at it the other day because I thought that it was like something new that was posted. And it's not. It's one that's been up there for like a minute. It's been up there for a while. And it's one of the very short ones. It's only like 4 or 5 minutes long. And it said like right at the very, 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 very end of this like body cam. So I'll do a video about it and play it and tell you guys like, you know, just specifically. But it's hard to tell what's being said. I know some people think that he's saying something about Sigma Chi. It doesn't sound like he's using in what he's saying. It sounds like it's more the sound. So it doesn't lean towards Sigma Chi for me at all. But it's still kind of difficult to understand what he's saying. It wouldn't shock me. I will say that off the bat. It would not surprise me one bit with everything that's going on in this case if that were true. It wouldn't. It wouldn't at all. So again, I don't know if that's specifically what he said. I listened to it just like on the video itself. I'll download it and make it louder and see what I can see with it. But I don't want to say for sure just yet. I just know that, again, I don't hear the k like Sigma Chi. I hear the s. So I sort of get it. I get why people are saying that. So yeah. All right, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. We're going to be live later. I think it's 8:45 to go over the Eric Gower interview, and I will take time before then to go in and speed up those mutes, because again, there's like minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes for some reason of this muted all in this guy's interview. It's very, very strange. I don't know why. But I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you for the 2 metal chick. They're good. They were in here earlier, actually. I'll put a little video up on my second channel either today or tomorrow. I got my headphone and headset and microphone in, and as soon as I open the box, Zelda and Link are just on the box. She's laying on it. He's trying to pull the bubble wrap up off of it, and they just wouldn't let me do anything with it. It's just still sitting there. They wouldn't let me do anything with it. So there's that. They're menaces together. Menaces together for everything. But no, they're good. So I'm going to get off of here. You guys have a great rest of your Friday. I'll see you guys later on tonight. Thank you so much for the super stickers and the super chats. And those of you that have been in here as a member for like a super long time, I'm going to also go ahead and set the members only live. I think for tomorrow, guys. No, not tomorrow. Probably tomorrow, maybe Sunday. I know Sunday's the 1st. I don't still want to wait till all the way to Monday, but we still might. But we're going to do our members only live within the next couple of days and then have another one in February. I believe the 23rd is the date for the one in February. But I'll go ahead and get those scheduled out soon. I have it like written right here on my Post-it note board. But I'll get that done and over with. And I think for the members only live, I'm going to give away something different. I just don't know how many of y'all are even going to want this thing because it's different. So I have Spreadshop connected to the YouTube page, and last night I went in and got rid of everything except one thing because I like using Etsy for the channel merch. I'm just going to keep it at Etsy for now because that's what I'm used to. That's what I'm comfortable with. I might change it later, but I'm going to leave it alone. I got rid of everything else that was over on Spreadshop except for the stuffed monkey. There is a stuffed monkey that has a tail and everything, and I can put a shirt on it with like the channel logo. So it's the only thing that I kept on there, and I think that that's what I'm going to give away in the next members only live. Maybe. Let me know how y'all feel about that. Because Valentine's Day is coming up, and it's like you can get one with like a pink shirt. I don't know. I kind of want to give away the stuffed monkey. I kind of want to give away a stuffed monkey instead of like a shirt. So I don't know. We'll probably do that. I was thinking about that last night. Okay. I'm going to get off of here. You guys have a great night. I will see you guys in a few hours. I'm going to go ahead and roll this out. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. All right, you guys. See y'all.